Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Hurt Locker, a new synthesizer deck brought to you from the Synthesizer Channel. This time around, we're into blinking our artifacts for maximum effect. Plus, we've included a lockout combo that is sure to frustrate an opponent if we pull it off. The aim is still the same. Play out a synthesizer, then follow up with more artifacts to load up our board with Robot Overlords. The intelligence might be artificial, but the beatings are real. We're loaded with a full set of 3 steps ahead, which we'll use to copy or counter. We can use it to draw, but the card is most effective when we're making a copy of a synthesizer, or in this deck, we can copy an Aven Interrupter. Shenanigans, yes, but they are shark-nanigans. We've also got the full set of High Noon, the card that stops multiple spells per turn. But we're completely okay with that since we have enough effects that it feels like we're playing multiple cards per turn. Tinker's Tote is a card we've played in early versions of synthesizer decks. It's a great card that adds a pair of artifact 1/1 men, and then we can sacrifice the Tote to gain 3 life. It's an amazing card to play out as a follow-up to a synthesizer. The Interrupter is our lockout card. He'll take the opponent's play and plot it to be played on a later turn. If we get a 3 steps ahead, we can make a token copy of the Interrupter and stop the opponent's play again. From there, we need an Encroaching Mycosynth and a Helm to make instant copies and lock the opponent out of the game. It's a lot of cards, but even if we make only a couple of copies, it might be enough to slow down the opponent and give us the time we need to set up a loaded board of Robot Overlords. The Synthesizer is our key card as usual in this type of deck. We want to get one down early, then make copies of it with 3 steps ahead. Once we have a token copy, the Helm can copy it whenever we have the opportunity. But making token copies is the only thing we will aim to do. We're playing an enchantment that will let us blink our artifacts. The Helm is the ever-present partner to the synthesizer. It can make token copies of any artifact token we have. Patchwork Banner is still our artifact mana source. In a 3-color deck, this becomes even more critical in helping us get the right colors when we need them. As a bonus, this will also pump our Robot Overlords to be sure we can smash in. Encroaching Mycosynth is an artifact that we used in the Machine 3. It turns all our cards into an artifact. Interrupter? Yes, also an artifact, and will trigger the synthesizer. Our secret weapon in this version is the Resolve, which will let us blink out any artifacts or men we have, and then return them to play at the beginning of our turn. This will work great when we have multiple synthesizers in play. But the blink effect is not the only thing the Resolve brings to the table. We also get +1 power to all our men and haste. That means as soon as they hit the board, our Robot Overlords will be able to smash in for damages. Steel Seraph is another card that is returning from a previous version. It gives any one of our men a critical ability, including the effective lifelink, which can keep us in a game. We'll play it out for 3 mana, and with the Resolve, we can blink it out and have it return to play as its bigger form. The Combat Thresher is a little guy that can be huge since he will draw us a card when he enters. When we blink him, like the Angel, he'll come back in his bigger form and draw us a card. For lands, we have 4 Fabled Passage, the land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic land. 2 Demolition Field, the land we can use to snipe opposing non-basic lands. 4 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. 4 Flood Farm Verge, the new Azorius land from Duskmorn. 3 Mountain, 4 Island, and 4 Plains. Playing the deck is more on the simple side, with our early plays being easy to figure out. The key is to always try to get a synthesizer down early, then follow it up with more artifacts. Being in 3 colors this time around means we need to pay attention to the colors we have early and think about setting up future turns. The mid-game should see us starting to crank out Robot Overlords and getting in for hits. Generating more and more men should always be the goal, as we can outsize most opposing men. For upgrades, adding in removals to help out in games where we face plenty of early men, or even a bit of bounce to help keep the opponent off balance and buy us time to set up. To go all in on the lockout plan, bring in Fear of Imposters, the enchantment creature that counters a spell when it enters. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Black Estra. No, wait, it's Blake Stray. I would have gone a different way. We get a shuffler special with the only action being a pair of High Noon. For a starting hand, this is not good. We can do better. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with a synthesizer along with a High Noon as well. The banner will be useful in triggering our synthesizer. Keep. We'll send the Mycosynth on down. It's more of a mid-game card anyways. The archive shows us a demolition field on top. It's an untapped land, so we'll keep it. That means we'll be able to play out our High Noon on schedule. They're representing Gruul over there, so it might disrupt their plans. Bro is into ramping, which is fine. That means we have a bit of time to set up. We get a timely island. This will let us play out the synthesizer. Let's see what we've got on top. That's another synthesizer along with a 3 steps ahead. We want both, but we'll get the synthesizer first. Bro better be hanging on to his pants. They might explode a bit early. More ramp for the opponent. It's a turn spent doing nothing but fetching another land. This turn goes to our second synthesizer and generating our first Robot Overlord. We've got a land right below our 3 steps ahead, which we'll send on down. We have all the lands we need, plus we have a banner yet to play out. The opponent drops some beef on the table. It's a meaty dino. Anybody up for steak? Beefy goodness. They get a free pyroclasm, which is definitely not going to be helping them out much. Discover is a dead mechanic against a High Noon. All they do is get an extra card in hand. We could drop our banner now, and that would get us another pair of Robot Overlords, but with a 3 steps ahead, we can make an instant copy of a synthesizer. That will be our play. Let's pass the turn and we can make an instant copy when they swing in. They go for a big hefty armadillo. They don't know how to play out small men. That's fine. We can generate more Robot Overlords and we'll be able to outsize their freakish men. Here comes their dino, so it's time to spring our trap. Without a doubt, that resolve will be huge for us. Let's keep it, but send the land on down. Let's block up. We'll trade off a Robot Overlord, but take out their dino. It's time for the resolve. It won't get us more Robot Overlords, but it will start generating an enormous advantage. No attacks for us, but we'll send away our synthesizers. When they come back, we'll be in the money, and we'll cash in. A Calamity was not on the menu. I'm not into horse meat anyways. They mount up and send it. We can't take the entire hit, so we'll have to give a block. If we block their big men, we'll take only 4. We will lose our Robot Overlords, but we have backup coming at the start of our turn, and then a few more when we play out the banner, and they have no blockers to throw in front of our Robot Overlords. We'll be able to take them down. All right, here we go. Triggers, bro, triggers. We even have another synthesizer on top. GG's, bro. It doesn't even matter what we have on top at this point. The Robot Overlords have risen, and they want the opponent's head. We'll send in 4. That's an easy 48 damages, bro. Take it like a human. This is peace cells. No, wait, it's Zells. What are you trying to Zell me, bro? Of course, we open with a Shuffler special. To make this one work, we'll need to draw into a 3rd land right away. Keep. Your pants. On. We'll play out our fabled passage. Let's get an island. We really only ever need 1 red. We draw into another Verge. We'll be able to carry out our plans for world domination. We'll get our high noon down, and the opponent will have to fight us, playing only 1 card at a time. They play out a 1/1, but that's going to be it for their turn. You're going to need bigger men, bro. It's time for our synthesizer. Let's see what we've got on top. That's another synthesizer. There is no better follow-up than that. They sacrifice their guy for some cards. All the pressure is gone. Now all we have to do is carry out our plan. We get our first Robot Overlord, and that's all it takes. GG's, bro. GG's. Extra cheese. This is Simba. I'm not lying. We get a 3-lander with an Angel, an Interrupter, and a Thresher. The high noon is always a bonus. Keep. Bore us, but they have no turn 1 plays. That's too bad for them. We'll go with a Fabled Passage here and get a mountain. It'll take care of our red requirement for the rest of the game. We have another passage to get more blue or white. They hit us with a shock. I'm absolutely shocked. They should know that burn isn't going to get the job done. This is a high noon turn. We'll slow them down to only 1 card per turn. That's a lightning helix. Cute, but they're already low on cards. Once upon a long time ago, you could play burn and win with it, but that's not in the standard of today. This time around, we'll keep up mana for the Interrupter. And we get to use it right away. Nope, let's slow their roll. Amazingly enough, they decide to go for our life total over taking out our interrupter. Oopsie poopsie, bro. In a long line of mistakes. Our angel will get us some life back and set them back a turn. Their ammo will be running low, but we'll have a developing board. They actually hit us with a shock again, and now they're down to only 2 cards. It's like they're trying to not win. They actually sniped the angel, but that's their turn, done and dusted. This has to be a Tote turn. It'll give us a pair of 1/1 men, and we can sacrifice it for 3 life later on. They gave us map tokens, so we'll use them to pump up our interrupter. We'll make a 4/4 bird if all goes well. It's time to get some hits in. Damages, bro. Damages. They burn through their cards. What's the plan now? Top decking for the win. They're getting a heavy dose of interrupter the rest of the game. They go for a Vindicator, but self-destruct at the same time. We have a bird for that. It's the word. Bird. GG's, bro. This is Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. No, wait, it's just Bubs. Sometimes you know a hand is not going to work, and this is one of those. Mull? Then we get a 3-lander with plenty of action. This one is an easy keep. It's a hard choice, but I think we send the banner on down. The other cards are just going to be more effective at executing our plans for world domination. There's no way we drew a second synthesizer already. No way. I'm seeing it, but I'm not believing it. They glimpse the core. What does it look like, bro? It probably looks like High Noon. Playing 1 card at a time is fun. No double spells for anyone. A 4/4 would be pretty scary, especially this early, but we have our men on the way. We have to simply fire up the factories and start the production lines. Our first synthesizer shows us a resolve and an island on top. We'll gladly take both. They play out another Bloomkin. That's double the 4/4 action, and we have yet to generate our first Robot Overlord. Here's our first Robot Overlord, but he's a bit smaller than their men. Let's send the 3 steps ahead to the top. We can use it to make token copies of the synthesizer. They throw down more ramp. That will pump their men to 6/6. They send their men. 1 goes at the invasion, and 1 at us. I don't know if they even know what High Noon does. They played a spell this turn already. The question now is, do we block or take the hit? Taking the 6 damage now means we'll have bigger Robot Overlords later. Which does sound good to me, so we'll take the damages. They thought they were getting 7/7 men along with another 4/4, but sadly the High Noon will not let them. Oopsie poopsie, bro. Maybe read your opponent's cards when you don't know what they do. Our plan is going to be to make a token copy of one of our synthesizers, but should we send in our 1 token now? It's only 3 damage, but maybe having him as a blocker, along with the instant Robot Overlords we'll be generating, will be better. When you're not sure, hold what you got. We know eventually we'll get to Smash since we have 3 copies of 3 steps ahead. And that's an additional 3 synthesizers we have in hand. They play out another one. It's like a Bloomkin convention going on over there. They send their men, so now is the time to spring our surprise. Say hello to our little friends. We've got our 5th land on top now, and we'll have the mana for the resolve. Let's give a block. We'll take one of their Bloomkins out, and we'll block the other one. Sure, we lose a pair of men, but we have 3 synthesizers now. Once again, we'll pass the turn without any plays. A surprise synthesizer next time will be devastating. They get a Thunder Hulk, which is cute. It'll make a nice group of blockers. They send it again. You would think they'd come to suspect something, but they didn't even hesitate. Let's make another token copy of Synthesizer. Now we can block up, and our Robot Overlords are bigger than their Bloomkins and definitely much larger than their Thunder Hulk and his little friends. We'll play out our Angel for the life link, and it'll generate a small squad. Let's send in our Robot Overlords. They will bend the opponent to their will. They don't even try to block. GG's, bro. This is G-Rind Blast. At least it isn't a rear-end blast. Am I right, bro? We get a 3-lander with double synthesizer, but we have no blue. We'll need at least 1 blue mana to be able to really kick things off. We do have a draw with the Thresher, plus we don't need blue for the first couple of turns. Keep your pants on. That, my friends, is a blue mana right there. We'll play out the mountain and drop High Noon. Maybe they meant to plot that? It's not an effective attacker when played out turn 2. At least not in my opinion. Prepare your pants, bro. We're dropping a synthesizer. We've got a banner and a land on top. We'll slide the land on down. We don't need any more the rest of the game. A 3/3 Angel. The game just got real. That's a very serious clock we're on now. We're sticking to our game plan, which is synthesizers, followed up by artifacts. Sure, our first Robot Overlord is rather small, but they will grow quickly on our next turn. It sucks to lose our first Robot Overlord, but at the same time, we did get a 3-life boost. There will be more of them where that one came from. Maybe they're trying to play out another card? They already played their removal, so they can't do anything else. Plotting cards is still fine. They probably don't know what High Noon does. We'll play out our banner this time around. The Robot Overlords will get a boost, and we should be able to get back in this game and fight. They're clearly not thinking about blocking. They send in their men and leave only 1 guy back to hold the line. On our turn, let's make them wish they had left back more blockers. We get a Tote, which is huge. It's a cheap and easy way to generate more artifacts. Plus, we can sacrifice it to gain 3 life. And just like that, we've got a squad of 11/11s, and 2 of them are gonna rumble in for hits. Okay, bro, what's your play? Sunfall? Hitting the concede button? Going for a fresh set of underpants? Our squad convinced them they should hold their men back, but that's only 3 blockers to our 4 Robot Overlords. The Thresher will be our play this turn. We've got the mana to play him out for his full cost. Get in there, bro. Make some heads roll. Let's send in only our Robot Overlords. They're going to need sorcery to stay alive. They snipe the tip of the spear, but that still leaves 3 of our Robot Overlords smashing in for damages. And that clears out their blockers. Those were savage hits, and that'll do it for the opponent. GG's, bro. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.